Painkiller Ghosts, Chapter 32, Arson, Homelessness. Time continues to drive the truck. Chastity says she didn't know he was a trash man. Time smiles, says he's not the trash man, but points towards Link and says he's the trash man. After a minute he continues, this isn't even my job. I'm just helping him out. I really don't have much to do. Chastity smiles back at him. Me either. It's quiet for a few minutes, and then Chastity says to Time, you know, I've read one of your mom's books. I haven't, actually. Is Time's passing about you? Slap. I never asked that. I never asked her too much about her stuff. She was very personal about it. Chastity continues, I read Time's Passing, almost just in passing. I just happened to come across a copy of it. Later, I rolled a joint with a page from it. Time smiles and says, that sounds like a reasonable idea. Mama would have smiled if she'd heard about that. Chastity begins to say something, and then she stops talking before she ever starts again, and she looks out the front window at nothing, and there's a knock on the passenger window, and she rolls it down, and Lincoln is standing there, and he smiles up at her in the cab of his truck and says, baby, I'm the trash man. I'm the trash man, baby. Then Lincoln smiles, and he wheels a can towards the back of the truck. That's his pickup line, Time says to Chastity. It got him laid last night, I believe. She smiles and says, that won't get him laid with me. She's thinking, I'm a virgin, not an angel. Slap. Time pulls forward a few houses and then slows to a stop again. Is that your new camera? Chastity is looking behind the seat. New? Time listens for Lincoln's wheels coming towards the truck. Yeah, that's my new one, all right. I have your old one. Slap. Sorry, what? Time looks over towards Chastity. What did you say? I have your old camera. It's broken anyway. I'm sorry. I'm a virgin, not an angel. Time just looks at her, confused. And I saw your mother on television the other day, on a cable cooking show. Time nods his head. I've been seeing Mama everywhere. He scratches his head again. The voices on the radio make him think of the lice. He's not so sure he doesn't have them now. They sit as the engine idles, and Time can hear the wheels of a trash bin nearby, and then a lighter rolling sound, and then slap. He turns a corner, to the left this time, and he stops at the third house in the block. Chastity stares down the road, to the right, while Time stares towards the left. She says, I used to live in a house in this block. And that house down there, the fifth one. I lived there from when I was, 11 to 13. Yeah, a foster home. Oh, I see. God, I haven't thought about that place in forever. She just stares at it. Slap. The truck rolls forward a few houses. That was the second house I used to be fostered in that we passed today since you picked me up. I picked you up in the truck. He smiles. Says, seems to me you just got in the truck. Not that there's a problem or anything. Good to have company. She goes on like she never heard him and says, that was the second house, and they all look different than they used to. All fresh colors, new windows. Why is it I always remember the places I used to live being a different color? And the same color too, at the same time. Isn't that weird? He's taking the right turn, making sure he doesn't drop Link in the process, and he asks her, what color? What color do you remember them? Drab green, olive green. Oh. Seems like a lonely job, this. Driving the cab all day, stopping and starting and stopping alone. Well, it's not even my job. He continues, and I get to listen to the radio all day. I've been burned out watching television all day. Slap. The truck goes and then slows to a stop. Lincoln comes around to the driver's side and says it's time to head home. Time scoots to the middle of the seat and chat with Chastity to the right of him by the window and Link taking over the driving wheel. Traffic has picked up. It's getting dark, and the after-work traffic has started. Lincoln keeps his gloves on as he drives. He says this time of the year his hands stay cold day and night. I almost sleep with these gloves on, he says. Lincoln finds where Chastity lives, and based on where they were right then, he said he'd drop time off first and then take Chastity home, if that's alright with you, baby. Driving me home is the closest you'll get to sleeping with me, if that's what you're trying to do. Lincoln smiles, scratches his chin with his tattooed right hand, and says, I already got a date tonight. He smiles over at Chastity and then Time and says, "Same waitress from last night." "Again?" "Again. I told you, it works every time." Chastity responds, "Not every time." Lincoln half lies, "I was only half trying with you." This is now about 15 minutes later, and this is how it is. Coming down Times Street, the traffic is blocked off near his house. Chastity gets out and moves a sign so Link's truck can get down the street to Time's house. The police cars that are on the side of the road do not have their sirens on, but their flashing lights are still on. An ambulance is pulling away in no hurry without any emergency lights on, going down the street away from the approaching trash truck. And there are 2 fire trucks and a fire department Suburban and 2 other cars with smaller red lights on top, and the fire department is signaling on the front door and the hood. Time's 2-story house is now a 1-story house of broken windows and blackened, peeling siding. The roof appears to have collapsed on the 2nd floor where the 2nd floor was. Smoke is rising. The area is taped off. Spotlights are on the house. Water from hoses is still being sprayed onto the house, but Time, Lincoln, and Chastity can see from the front seat of the truck that the firemen are not acting urgently. One is drinking coffee, one is packing up a hose. It looks more or less like a complete loss, Time sees. What the fire didn't get, the smoke and the water would not miss. They would have ruined. Time reaches behind the seat and finds his camera and takes pictures of his smoldering home through the window of the truck. "Let's just get out of here, Link. There's nothing here anymore. It was Mama's house anyway." Lincoln eases the truck on down the street, and Time takes one more shot of Mama's smoldering house across Lincoln's profile as they drive by.